Hello everybody, L4NK for Life here, bringing you guys a brand new video. So, Extreme Force comes out in 2 days in Japan. Where did it go? Extreme Force, yep, October 14th. It's 12/12. It's going to be the 13th by the time this video gets done being recorded and uploaded. And it was only a matter of time before the good old leaks came out. I mean, I'm sure there are people out in Japan who have the set already and, well, are cracking boxes and stuff, seeing what's in it. Because we were not, but we didn't know like half of the set. We knew all the archetypal stuff, at least most of it. There's still some stuff that we didn't know, and so we got a lot of new stuff announced here. So we got Striping Partner here. He's a light Cybers effect monster, level 4, 1200 attack, 1600 defense. Cannot be normal summoned or set, must be special summoned by its first effect. You can only use his second effect once per turn. So if a monster effect that was activated on your field is negated, you can spell summon this card from your hand. That's intriguing. Okay, I'm going to be honest. So being able to special summon it whenever a monster effect you control is negated, I mean, with as much negation that happens nowadays, that's actually kind of cool, but I don't see it actually happening very often because it's very weird. Because yeah, sure, stuff gets negated all the time, but nowadays it's mostly with Ghost Ash, and that's usually negating spells and traps to search and stuff. So I don't really know how often this is actually going to happen, but it's a Cybers and it's for Cybers decks, so it's going to be intriguing if Cybers decks actually do use this or not. And then whenever it's special summon, you can target a level 4 or lower Cybers in your grave, special summon it, which is pretty cool, but again, I don't see that happening often very much. If there was a way to summon it, like a card effect that says, oh hey, special summon a monster that can't be normal summon or something, ignoring its summoning conditions, then maybe this card would be worth it, but I don't really see it being used at all. Now, if it was first be special summon, oh my god, this card would be amazing, because then you could special summon it off of its effect, and then you can go and, you know, like use it for a link summon, bring out something, then link summon, and then you can call it on it back, use it again. But obviously, of course, not during the same turn, but, you know, like sometime later. So, yeah, this is kind of annoying here. It's just not a very great card in general. Then we got Flickr Clown. It's a Dark Cybers effect monster. 1000 attack, 1400 defense. You can only use this card's name's effect once per turn. If you control 2 or more Cybers monsters other than this card, and there are no cards in your hand, you can pay 1000 life points, draw a card. I don't know. Like, considering that Cybers emptied her hand so easily, and it's ridiculous how much they emptied her hand. Maybe 1 to 2 copies of? I don't know. I'd have to test this out because, again, Cybers emptied their hand so easily and so quickly, and they get a lot of monsters on field very fast. But I don't know. Maybe 1 to 2 copies of. This is a card that I'd have to test out. Looks like it's an ultra rare in Japan, which is a bit weird. Then we got a new Rokket monster. I actually read this guy. I read a few cards earlier, but not everything. Metal Rokket Dragon, Dark Dragon effect, level 4, 1700 attack, 1400 defense. I love the artwork on this card, like seriously. I love the Rockets in general. I really want to try and pick them up and start with the upcoming release of Circuit Breaker. But good lord, they rarity pumped everything in that set. Well, at least for the archetype, which is annoying. God, it's going to have to wait, which is a sad thing, because I really like this deck. But anyways, you can only use Ito discards name's effect once per turn, so he has a standard special summon effect that every Rokket does have. And then he has the same destruction effect, where, oh hey, if he's targeted by a Link monster's effect, you can destroy this card, and then he does something. And what he does is he destroys all cards your opponent controls that are in the same column as the zone this card was occupying. So you're probably going to be summoning him in the zone right underneath the extra monster zone a lot of times. That way, so you can take out potentially 3 cards in your opponent's zone. Like if they have a monster in the extra monster zone and a monster in the zone right beneath that, and a zone and like a spell or trap card beneath that, that's going to destroy all 3 of those cards, which is really good. So I really do like this card. He's a very, very good card, very, very powerful for the deck. And really, honestly, even if he wasn't good, you're still going to be playing 3 of them, because one of the biggest issues with Rockets coming out in Circuit Breakers, they just simply don't have enough monsters. And the fact that we are getting 2 more in Extreme Force is really, really, really nice. but they still need more. They still need more. They also need a more efficient way of getting out Borreload, or at least an easier to summon version of him, like a Link 2 or something, because Borreload is really, really cool, really, really powerful, and I freaking love the monster, but holy crap, it is hard to summon in freaking Rockets, so it's going to be intriguing to see how they go about that. Anyway, next up, we got some more to Mythical Beasts, and it looks like my fear is a bit true in that all of them are scale 4, which is to be expected, really. Honestly, it should have been, because that's the whole point. They're meant to be used as spells when they're spells, and monsters when you need a monster. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. I still kind of wish you could pendulum summon every now and then. From what I've been hearing people talk about, you can use stuff like, what was it called again? Archfiend-Eccentric to pendulum summon, and then, you know, pop Eccentric, get it out of the scale, and then use your Mythical Beast effects. So it's going to be interesting to see how things play out. So we got Mythical Beast Medusa. It's a light spellcaster pendulum effect monster. Depends on scale 4, obviously, like every other member of the archetype. 1500 attack, 1500 defense. You can only use this card's pendulum effect once per turn. If there is no other card in your pendulum zone, you can target one monster in your graveyard that can place a spell counter on it, and then destroy this card, and if you do, spell summon that monster, and if you do that, place one spell counter on it. So it's a monster reborn for the deck. Since they're pendulums, you're not going to be getting them in the graveyard too often, but you can use this with other members of the spell counter archetype, like, crap, what was he called? That one magician that, is like a tuner. What was he called? Spell counter. It's not all one word. I can't remember what he's called. What the? That's not okay. Whatever. What was he called? It's gonna drive me nuts, which is why I'm searching it real quick. Garuda's pretty cool. He was revealed earlier. I never made a video about him, but okay, Frequency Magician. That's what he was called, Frequency Magician, because he is a tuner. So that means you can then make that really, really, really good synchro that burns it. That, like, there's all sorts of FTKs and OTKs around, which I also forget the name of, but I'm not gonna go and search it up again because I just closed that out. But either way, so having a monster reborn for spell counters is pretty cool. And I can see people play this in like other spell counter based decks just because, hey, it is a freaking monster reborn for spell counters, and I can't tell what the heck is going on in this artwork. Whoa, that is one ugly face. Or is that the face? I don't know. Never mind. Anyways, then it has a monster effect, of course. Each time a spell counter is activated, spell card is activated, place a spell counter on this card when that spell card resolves. Once per turn during the battle phase, you can remove 2 spell counters from your side of the field and target a face-up monster. Half that monster's attack and defense until the end of this turn. Pretty cool. I think this is going to be one that you're definitely going to be using the pendulum effect more often than not over the monster effect, because the monster effect is just kind of but the pendulum effect is great. Probably not for this deck though, because they're all pendulums, but hey, you can always full spirit something or discard something. Then we got Mythical Beast Basilisk, which, holy crap, I freaking love this artwork for the Mythical Beasts. They all just look so freaky and weird and like chimeras and stuff and Full Metal Alchemist-y. And I swear this armor here looks like it's BLS's armor, you know, like the same color scheme and stuff. Anyways, we got another light spellcaster pendulum effect monster. If most of them are light and pendulums and spellcasters, then holy crap, I wonder if this deck can make use of Ties of Brethren. He's 1800 by 500, so pretty good stats. You only use this card's pendulum effect once per turn. And then, of course, if you control no other pendulum zone, you can pop him and then shuffle one face-up spellcaster pendulum monster from your extra deck into the deck except himself, and then draw a card. So he's kind of like a 1-for-1 mini Pot of Avarice for the deck, getting stuff out of your extra deck, which is really great. I feel like this deck is definitely going to be making advantage of Pot of Riches, which, if you guys don't know, it basically is a Pot of Avarice for pendulums, and you do it from either the graveyard or in your extra deck, shuffle 3 back, and I think it's either draw 1 or 2, I can't remember. So this card, I feel like it's going to be really, really good for the deck, just being able to get your resources back in the deck. And of course, he gets a spell counter when a spell card is activated. You can remove 3 from him to return 1 Mythical Beast card from your pendulum zone or face up from your extra deck to the hand. This guy is definitely going to be one of the main playmakers of the deck, if only because he gets your stuff back, which means that you can get your Monster Reborn back, you can get other stuff back, and And you can even grab another copy of himself, so you can keep on reusing that recycle effect, which is great. And then let's close that. And then we got and Grappler. Is that Terror King Eel or whatever that thing is called? After Terror King. Okay, I gotta search this real quick again because I'm curious. That looks like that Terror. Well, I can't spell. It's almost 11 o'clock. It is! It's Terror King Salmon! Oh my god, I love it when Konami references old cards. Was that card actually good? It's a level 5 of 24. Nope, okay. It's a Water Warrior Tuner effect monster. Level 1, 100 attack, 100 defense. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent by a direct attack, you can target one monster in your graveyard, spell summon in defense position. Okay. There's ways to make it to where it can attack directly. Is that going to happen? Not really. But it's still a cool card. I don't think anybody's actually gonna play it, but still, I kind of like it. It's kind of cool. And then we got Overtext Coatus, and a friend of mine was kind of freaking out about this because it's Dino support and it's kind of good. Like, I'm kind of iffy on this card, to be honest. So Overtext Coatus, I can't pronounce that. If I'm correct, these dinosaurs are the giant pterosaurs that mainly walked and were like the size of giraffes. Anyway, so he's level 7, 2700 attack, 2100 defense. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be special summoned from your hand by shuffling 5 of your banished dinosaurs back into the deck. You only use this card's second effect once per turn. Once per turn, and when your opponent activates a spell or trap card, you can destroy one dinosaur from your hand or field, and if you do, negate activation, and if you do that, destroy it. Then this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect. You can add an evolution pill spell card from your deck to your hand. So this card, which by the way, the artwork is beautiful on this thing. I freaking love it. It's going to be a late game boss monster unless you special summon it off of the evolution pill. The double evolution pill. That's what it was called. I could not remember the name of this thing for the life of me. So obviously that's the main one you're going to be grabbing. I guess if you want to be cheeky, you can grab big evolution pill. If you want to build like an OG GX dinosaur deck. But really, in all honesty, Coatus, it's nothing. How do I put it? Unless you're summoning it off of Ultra Evolution, or wait, is it double evolution? It's double evolution pill. Unless you're summoning it off of double evolution pill, this thing is not coming out till late game. And by late game, I mean like really late game. Unless like you really abuse Miscellaneousaurus's effect along with Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. But otherwise, I mean, unless like you get really lucky and flood your graveyard with dinosaurs, and then use Miscellaneousaurus effect, then yeah, you're gonna be able to get them out pretty easy, I guess, depending on your hand. But my biggest issue, I suppose, with that is that we have Lithosasm banned right now. Now, if Lithosasm ever gets unbanned, yeah, this card is going to be really good. But until he gets unbanned, I don't know if I'd even bother playing. And maybe just one copy, because he'd be great for a top deck and you have a bunch of stuff banished. We got Dismania Devil, it's adorable. I love this artwork. I want one. I want one of the actual creatures. They're adorable. But I get the feeling it'd probably eat me or turn me evil, judging off of the aura. And am I the only one who's like reminded of that bubonic rat card from forever ago off of this card art? I don't know. Anyway, so 1700 attack, 1400 defense. When this card destroys a monster by battle, you can add a level 4 lower beast type monster from your deck to your hand. Really good. Like, beast monster's got a random Rhoda Stratos thing. And it's not a hard once per turn, so if you can give him multiple attacks, he can kill multiple things, get 2 things. Pretty good card overall. Great stats. Searches out beast monsters. I like it. Then we got this Terror Nightmare Fuel card. John Shimatsu. 200 attack, 2000 defense. It's a flip effect monster. And it has 2 effects, super simple. Once per turn, you can change it to face down defense position. And whenever it's flipped face up, you can draw a card and then discard a card. Pretty good card overall. I don't think anything's actually going to play it, but still a pretty good card overall. And then a card that Konami TCG hyped up earlier, a few months ago. Whenever they did their press release for new sets and stuff. They announced this, and it was like, oh yeah, there's gonna be Link 4 that lets you draw a bunch of cards, and this is it. So this thing is Skull Deep, the Chained Draco Serpent, which, okay, what the heck is this thing? And God, it's so cool. It looks like a final boss monster of a video game, and I don't know why, but I'm getting strange deja vu from this thing. But anyways, he's an Earth Dragon Link effect monster. Link 4, 2800 attack, and he points up, down, left, right, bottom. So yeah, this thing opens up a crap ton of zones if you do summon him. But he is kind of hard to summon. So he needs 2 or more monsters with different names. And that's the kind of hard thing about this thing. Now, that being said, Pendulum Magicians are going to freaking love this thing, okay? Because you Pendulum 4, you use all 4 for this thing, and well, you kind of just get, you can Pendulum 3 back from your extra deck, which is great, so that's awesome. But anyways, he gets bonus effects depending on the number of monsters used as materials from him. That being said, also, you don't have to use 4 monsters. You can always use like a 2 Link 2s and stuff. You know, you don't have to use 4, but if you use 4, you get the most amount of benefits. So 2 or more if a monster is no more spell summoned to a zone discard points to, that monster gains 300 attack and defense. So, okay, in the situation I just gave, if for some reason your opponent doesn't kill this thing next turn, because let's be honest, that's going to be their primary objective if you do summon this thing. And then you Pendulum summon 3 back, like, I don't know, triple Black Fang Magician, they're all going to go up to 2k, which is pretty good. 3 or more once per turn, you can spell summon a monster from your hand, which is just really great, just being able to summon a monster from your hand. And then here's the big thing that Konami TCG was hyping up. When this card is Link summoned, when you use 4 or more, you can draw 4 cards and return 3 of them to the bottom of your deck in any order. So whenever he's Link summoned, he just gets you 4 cards, and then you get to put 3 back. So you really only get to draw 1, but you don't really care, because then you can potentially get dead draws out from your next few decks, or next few draws, or you can get cards that you can just search later out on, out of the way. So like, again, in the case of Pendulum Magicians, you would then get to draw 4, and like, let's say you draw a Skullcrobat, a Harmonizing Magician, an Astrograph Sorcerer, and a Star Pendulum Graph. Well, you're probably going to put back the Harmonizing Magician, Astrograph Sorcerer, and Star Pendulum Graph, so then you can normal summon out the Skullcrobat Joker, he'll go up by 300, and then you can search out the Harmonizing Magician, so you don't really care. So yeah, really good card. I don't know how many different decks are going to be able to use him, because it's going to be hard getting that +4 effect, the 4 monster summon thing effect. But overall, this card is really good. I think he's going to be the chase card for Extreme Force, in all honesty, because Extreme Force, like with Coded Duelist and Circuit Breaker, is overall kind of let down for competitive players. But yeah, this guy's definitely going to be the chase card. Then we got Linkage Hole. Surprisingly enough, not a trap hole. You can only activate 1 card of this card's name per turn. If you control a Link 4 or higher monster, destroy monsters your opponent controls up to the number of Link 3 or higher monsters you control. So it really does like try and get you. It benefits, summoning multiple monsters that are super high level. And then I love how just random the card art is. We got Marauding Captain, we got a Deskbot with his gun and the pencils falling out everywhere, and we got a Ghost Trick Yeti, and they're all just falling through the Link thingy that they use to summon out a monster. Now, that being said, though, if you look, there's 3 of them, and there's 3 Link arrows being used, so then that means they're being used for a Link summon, I guess, which is kind of scary because they're going to be impaled. So yeah, I do like this artwork. The card is cool. I don't think it's going to be used in anything until like we get to the point where we can consistently summon a crap ton of high level monsters. High Link rating monsters. That being said, though, if this card was a quick play, it'd be a lot better. Then we got the Rokket Field Spell, which, I'm going to be honest, the Rokket Field Spell and the Rokket Trap, along with the 2 other monsters in Extreme Force, should have came out in Circuit Breaker. Especially if they really want Rockets to be good, but I digress. Anyway, so Revolve Boot Sector. God, this card, I freaking love the artwork. It implies a bunch of things in regards to Borrow Load and Rockets. Anyways, so Rocket monsters you control gain 300 attack and defense, which is pretty cool. A lot of Rockets tend to have either high attack or high defense, and not really middle ground either in between. So, like for instance, with the 1700 beater that we went over earlier, he'd become a 2K with 1700 defense, which is great in general. Just having a level 4 2K. You can then once per turn you can activate one of these effects. Special summon up to 2 rocket monsters with different names from your hand in defense position. I will go over my problems with this effect here in a minute. And then if your opponent controls more monsters than you do, you can spell summon rocket monsters with different names from your graveyard in defense position up to the monster deficit. So, being able to summon 2 rockets with different names from your hand in defense position is great. Okay, I'm going to be honest, it's great, you know, just getting monsters on board. And it does help out with the spammability issue that the deck does have. But why doesn't it say up to 2? And why is it just from the hand and not from like hand or grave? You know, because if it was up to 2, that'd help out a lot, because the deck, you generally don't want your rockets in your hand, you want them in your deck so you can keep cycling them out. Granted, this does get them out of your hand and onto the board, so you can cycle them out. But I really wish this first effect would be able to summon up to 2, so then, oh hey, if you have 1 in your hand, you can do that, and then, you know, just kind of go off from there, but I digress. Anyways, so this is a really cool effect. And then, of course, being able to just kind of make a comeback, because imagine this, you have 5 rockets in your grave, and your opponent has 5 monsters. You activate this, use this effect, bring back all 5 from your grave. Because it's up to the monster deficit. Your opponent has 5, you have 0. Okay, I bring out 5. I just soul charge for free with my field spell. You do it, you wipe my board, I'm doing it again. I really do like this card. The field spell is great, and honestly, it's an ultra rare. I get the feeling this card's going to be an ultra or a secret for TCG, because this card is going to be one of the big power players for Rockets, and it's definitely going to be it's definitely a card that really does help them out a lot, and I really do like this card. It does so much for the deck, mostly in the sense of getting monsters on board, and being able to do that means you're getting closer to Borrow Load, because this still can normal summon, so you're going to be able to normal summon, and then, you know, special summon 2 rockets from hand, and then if you play Gateway Dragon, you can normal summon a Gateway, or heck, even possibly special summon the Gateway off of his own effect, then use his effect, summon out a rocket from hand, or Sniffer Dragon, search out another Sniffer Dragon in this case, and then use discard, special summon 2 rockets from hand, and then you still have a normal summon, so normal summon the other Sniffer Dragon, use the 2 Sniffer Dragons, the Gateway Dragon, and a rocket to go into Borrow Load, and then use Borrow Load's effect on the other rocket to be able to do stuff. Now, that does also require you to have like 5 cards in hand in particular, but however, it's still a nice little thing that the deck can do now thanks to the field spell. Now, then the trap, I'm honestly kind of mixed feeling on. So, you just to activate it, you got to attribute a rocket monster and then target a Borrow Link monster. This actually implies a lot of cool things I'll get to here in a minute. And then equip this card to that target and it gains this effect. So, right off the bat, with this effect and activation condition, I hate how it attributes a rocket. Why does this not say destroy a rocket, so then you can get to use its effect later on? But I digress. And then the monster, your Borrow, will get the effect of once per turn you can target, and it's a quick effect, you can target a monster you control. During this turn, that monster cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. And I like it how it can target himself, so then, oh hey, Borrow Load becomes untargetable by monster effects, and then it also can't be destroyed by battle or card effects, which means your opponent's only getting rid of it through freaking kaijus. Which, okay, I really do like that. That's really funny. I like that, just being able to just really annoy your opponent by having a Borrow Load who can't be targeted by monster effects, who can't be killed in battle, and who can't be destroyed by card effects. That is great. I like that. But I do really wish that this would destroy the rocket, not tribute it. And I do like this little hint into the future for Vrains, in that it says a Borrow Link monster, which means that we're very, very likely to get future Borrow Loads, like different variants of them, kind of like how we have a million different Deco Talkers. So that will be interesting to see where that goes. And then, God, I love the artwork of this. Okay, in all honesty, the card itself is just meh, but the artwork of this is magnificent. I love this artwork. God, so it's the crap. What's his name? Unexpected Die guy. Got Digrapher trying to woo different dimension lady, and he's got like a mariachi band helping him out, and she's just like not having any of it. So anyways, Guy Dance. You can only apply one card effect with this card's name per duel. Holy crap. Okay, so when I read this, I thought that it said once per turn. You can only activate one of this card per duel. What? Oh god. Okay, so probably just weirds out your opponent so much that they can't handle it anymore. So select one of your opponent's unused monster zones. While that zone is usable, if your opponent would normal or special summon or set a monster to a main monster zone, they must use that zone. This effect is applied until that zone becomes occupied. Yeah, this card is terrible. Okay, yeah, sure, you control your opponent, make them summon out a monster to a zone that your Decode Talker points to, so Decode Talker becomes 500 more attack points. But this card is just not that great, really, in all honesty. Now, that being said, I could see this being used in a Topologic Bomber Dragon deck, if that's even a thing, and force your opponent to special summon out a monster into Topologic Bomber Dragon's monster zone that he points to for the opponent. But aside from that, this card is not good. It really is not, okay? Okay, yeah, I know zones are becoming a more and more important thing in the game, but unless like it becomes so important later on, right now this card's not good at all. It really is not, because for the most part, the only thing that matters is where you put your link monsters. Not so much anything else. Now that being said, though, it would be interesting to see if like how it's rolled where like it comes to trying to do like link summons and stuff, because like let's say you're doing against a link heavy deck and then they set up their board to do a link summon, and then you activate this card and target a zone that's in the main monster zone, and oh wait, no, never mind, it says to a main monster zone, so your opponent would still be able to link summon into their extra monster zone. Okay, yeah, this card is definitely trash. I love the artwork though. And then we got a new Trunade called Localized Trunade. Return all set spell trap cards to the hand. It's literally a kind of sort of dumbed down giant Trunade, but however it's still really, really good. Okay, so when this card comes out, it's going to be at 3. That means that immediately right off the bat, you're going to be able to just clear your opponent's back row and go off for your LTK. That is really, really good. I like this a lot. It gets rid of your opponent's back row, and you don't have to worry about, Mirror Force and Bottomless and Solemn Strike, Solemn Warning, stuff like that. So, I get the feeling that this is what Konami wanted to errata Giant Trunade to, but then they're like, let's just make it a new card. So they did. Okay, it's cool. I like it. It hopefully probably won't lead to any stupid shenanigans like Giant Trunade does, but hey, we'll see. Then we got Guardian's Force, and when I saw this, I'm like, holy crap, that's the Guardian equip cards. They're referencing one of the most iconic decks from the original series, because, well, I forget what's his name, but the dude who played Guardians was, well, like the only guy who beat Yugi. So, Guardian's Force, it's an equip card. It has all of the pictures of the Guardians equip cards on here, which is pretty cool, and actually, like, shows where they are, too, which is also pretty cool. I kind of got the feeling this would be a field spell, but no, it's an equip card. Again, the equip monster gains 500 attack for each spell counter on it, and so of course every time it attacks, it gets a spell counter, so 500 attack and defense. And then if the equip monster be destroyed by battle or spell or card effect, you can remove a spell counter from your field instead. This card's I could see actually being pretty good in Mythical Beasts, which is probably why they're releasing it in this set. So I don't know if Mythical Beasts are actually going to play it, but I like it. It's cool. And then here's a card that the artwork kind of triggers me. Like, obviously I'm joking, but it's a counter trap. It's a generic counter trap, and it has the sub-terrors on it. And I'm like, why did you not use this artwork for a sub-terror card, for a new sub-terror card that could actually make the deck playable in a competitive sense? Oh well. Parthian Shot, which, by the way, I freaking love this artwork. Okay, can I just... It's freaking Archer riding Sub-Terror Nemesis Venus. I mean, Sub-Terror Behemoth Venus, which seems to imply that Sub-Terror Behemoth Venus is still good, even though she turned into a behemoth and revealed that she was a behemoth. So that hints some things. But either way, Parthian Shot, trap card. It's a trap card. It's a counter trap. When the battle phase ends, it now becomes the end phase of this turn. Oh god, this card, I love it. Okay, so let's say you activate Mirror Force to save your butt from getting killed, and then your opponent says, okay, end of battle phase. You activate this card. No, it's the end of main phase now. So now if your opponent has, like, I don't know, Rekindling or something, if they're playing a fire deck and they want to try and make a comeback main phase 2, you can be like, well, no. This card's great. I like it. And then we got Censor Different. I can't read. I can't pronounce that this late at night. Each player can only control one monster of each type. Send all other face-up monsters they control to the graveyard. So yeah, it's basically goes and match. Or no, wait, no, is that I can't remember if it's Rivalry or goes and match. Okay, it's Rivalry of Warlords. Okay, cool. But it's continuing the forbidden to this storyline. Like that. Or, wait, maybe that is Right Punts. Okay, maybe it's continuing that storyline instead. Contacting Sea, it's a level 6, or Insect. 1500 attack, 2200 defense. When your opponent normal summons or spell summons a monster, you can spell summon this card from your hand to your opponent's field in defense position. And then if this card's controller would fusion, synchro, exceed, or link summon, they must use this card as material. Cool, I guess. I don't know. I really can't say much about it. I mean, it can really mess with your opponent and what they wanted to do. Like, if you're playing against World Chalice and they wanted to make a Aurum, so now they can't because they must use this thing, but it's just kind of there. It's obnoxious like every other C card. And then we got Role Reversal. If your LP is more than your opponent's, swap life points with your opponent's. I get the feeling there's going to be some sort of OTK or FTK made with this. I just get that feeling. Inspect Border, level 4 light machine effect monster, 2k attack, 2k defense. Cannot be normal summoned or special summoned while you control a monster, but can be normal set. Each turn, each player can only activate a monster effects a number of times up to the number of monster card effects, Ritual, Fusion, Synchro, Exceed, Pendulum, and or Link monsters on the field. So, you can only activate a monster effect or effects up to the number of Ritual, Fusion, Synchro, Exceed, Pendulum, and or Link monsters you control. I mean, on the field. So if there are none of these on the field, neither player can activate a monster effect. This just screams degeneracy. I can't wait to see somebody build a deck around this. Anyways, then we got Sumbino. She's literally just Sumbina, but a level 4 Earth Zombie normal monster of 2k attack, 0 defense, and his card flavor text is a haiku, and I like that, but I'm too tired to read it. It is. Good lord, it's almost midnight already. Okay, so that's the new stuff from Circuit Break. Let's refresh the page real quick, see if there's anything more. I don't think there is. Yeah, there's none. Okay, so that's everything. Sorry, did I say Circuit Break? I meant to say Extreme Force. I'm really excited for the new Rokket stuff. Guy Dance is hilarious. I love that card art, but the card itself is pretty crap. Skull Deep, that's so weird. It's probably going to be Skull Death or something is what it's referring to. But the Chain Draco Serpent is pretty cool as well. Everything looks pretty cool, or at least most of everything. Mythical Beasts still aren't really looking to be anything amazing, but I'll still build them because I like pendulums and I like spell counters. And yeah, that's everything for now. If there's anything more announced between now and like tomorrow, I'll make a part 2. But for now, that's everything. Thank you all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a great day. If it's your birthday, happy birthday, and see you all later. Peace out and goodbye.